Did you know that some of the most common items in your bedroom could be quietly draining your energy, messing with your sleep, and even affecting your heart, especially if you're over 65? This isn't some internet scare. It's a growing concern backed by science, and it might explain why so many seniors wake up stiff or foggy, even after doing everything right. You eat well, you stay active, you take your medications on time, but something still feels off every morning. The real issue? It might be sitting just inches from your head every single night. In this video, I'll show you 5 everyday bedroom items that emit low-level radiation and how they could be interfering with your rest, your memory, and even your immune system. Number 4 is something most people sleep right next to, and once you hear what it does, you might want to unplug it tonight. Before we start, I'd love to know, where are you watching from, and what time is it right now? Drop a quick comment below, and if this kind of practical health advice matters to you or someone you love, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another tip made with your well-being in mind. Let's start with what might be the most familiar item in your bedroom, your mobile phone. For most people, especially those over 65, that phone feels like a lifeline. Whether it's used to check the time during the night, track your medications, call for help in an emergency, or just stay in touch with family, it's hard to imagine going to sleep without it nearby. And while it might seem harmless to leave it charging on your nightstand, that simple habit could be working against you. When your phone is plugged in overnight, it's constantly pulsing with invisible signals, sending and receiving data from cell towers, Wi-Fi routers, and Bluetooth connections. Even if you're not actively using it, your phone is still busy behind the scenes. And while that activity might not make a sound or give off any light, your body senses it. What's happening is that the phone emits something called radio frequency radiation, a type of electromagnetic field, or EMF for short. These fields aren't strong enough to cause burns or shocks like high-powered radiation, but they are strong enough to interfere with your body's normal rhythms over time, especially during sleep when your cells are supposed to be recovering. When your head is just inches away from that phone all night long, night after night, it becomes a steady background stressor. This might not seem like a big deal to a younger person, but for seniors, your body is already working harder to repair and regenerate. Every extra stress signal, no matter how small, adds up. One man, Harold from Arizona, 68 years old, had always kept his phone on his nightstand. He wasn't a heavy phone user, but he liked knowing it was there, just in case. He began noticing odd symptoms. He'd wake up with ringing in his ears, tension behind his eyes, and a low-grade headache that didn't seem to go away. Doctors ran tests but found nothing alarming. It wasn't until his granddaughter visited from college and asked, "Do you sleep with that phone right there?" that he even considered it might be the cause. She explained how radiation exposure near the head can affect sleep patterns and brain function. At first, he laughed it off, but he figured it couldn't hurt to try something different. That night, Harold turned his phone off and left it charging in the hallway. Within days, the buzzing in his ears faded, the headaches eased up, and for the first time in weeks, he woke up feeling like he'd actually slept. His story isn't unique. Many older adults find that once they remove that constant signal from their sleep space, their body starts to feel calmer, clearer, and more rested. So if you're someone who charges your phone by the bed every night, it might be time to rethink that habit. Try setting it on airplane mode, or better yet, charge it in another room where it's out of reach, but still close enough for emergencies. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for your body is to give it a little quiet, and that starts with what's closest to your head when you close your eyes at night. Let's talk about something that seems harmless, even helpful: smart lamps and Bluetooth-connected light bulbs. These are the modern kinds of lights you can control with your phone, a voice assistant, or even a tap on the lamp base. They look sleek, feel convenient, and many people over 65 have started using them to avoid fumbling with switches in the dark. But here's what most people don't realize. While these smart bulbs offer convenience, they also give off a constant stream of invisible electromagnetic radiation, also known as EMFs. That's because even when the lamp looks like it's off, it's still silently communicating in the background. Whether it's waiting for a signal from your Wi-Fi router or staying synced with a smart home app, that bulb stays awake, pulsing a signal that your body absorbs every single night. And when you place that lamp right on your nightstand, less than 2 feet from your head, your brain stays exposed to that low-level frequency while you're trying to sleep. These signals don't make a sound, don't flicker, and don't give off heat, but your nervous system notices them. And while younger adults may not feel it, seniors are more likely to be affected because the brain's protective barrier becomes weaker with age, and our ability to filter out background stressors begins to fade. That means your sleep may be lighter, more disrupted, or just plain unrefreshing, without you even knowing why. These bulbs might make the room easier to manage, but at the cost of your rest. Let me tell you about Rita, a 70-year-old widow from Georgia. She had outfitted her bedroom with all the latest gear after her son installed a smart home system for her safety. She could control her lights with her voice and had timers set up to dim the lights at bedtime. On the surface, it was helpful, but Rita kept waking up around 3 a.m. every night, wide awake, heart racing, mind alert for no good reason. Her doctor thought it was stress. Her daughter thought it was grief, but nothing seemed to help, until a friend at her church mentioned she'd had a similar issue after switching to smart lighting. That got Rita curious. She unplugged her smart bulbs and went back to a simple, corded bedside lamp with an old-fashioned switch. She even changed her bulbs to soft white incandescent ones that don't emit extra signals. And you know what? That very week, she slept through the night for the first time in months. No more tossing and turning. No more jolting awake. She didn't even realize how disturbed her rest had become until her body finally got the deep, uninterrupted sleep it had been craving. That story isn't rare. The reality is EMF exposure from smart devices can quietly interfere with the brain's natural rhythm, especially when the source is this close to where you sleep. If you have smart lighting in your bedroom, consider unplugging it at night or switching to regular lamps. There's no harm in using helpful technology during the day, but your sleep space deserves peace. Sometimes the small things we add to make life easier can accidentally get in the way of our body's healing time. And when you're over 65, every night of solid rest matters more than ever. Your body is doing everything it can to keep you strong. Let it rest without noise, even if that noise is something you can't hear. Now let's talk about something that brings a lot of comfort on chilly nights: heated mattress pads. They're especially popular among older adults dealing with arthritis, poor circulation, or just the natural cold that settles into the body as we age. The warmth feels soothing. It helps the muscles relax. It eases you into sleep. But while the surface-level comfort is undeniable, what most people don't realize is that heated mattress pads work by running electric currents through wires woven into the fabric. And those currents don't just produce heat. They also create electromagnetic fields, EMFs, that surround your body from below, night after night. When you sleep directly on top of something emitting low-frequency EMFs, your body becomes the receiver of that energy. And because the mattress pad is in constant, full-body contact with you, your exposure isn't just close, it's total. This creates a situation where, instead of resting in a calm, quiet environment, your body is gently buzzed with electrical stress throughout the night. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't tingle, but it keeps your nervous system slightly activated. And for older adults whose immune systems and cell repair processes are slower, that means your body is working harder while it's supposed to be recovering. While younger people might shake this off without noticing much, seniors often feel the effects more directly. Increased joint stiffness, shallow sleep, irregular heartbeats, or that groggy, achy feeling that doesn't quite go away even after a full night in bed. Let me share the story of Carlene, a 75-year-old retired librarian from Michigan. Winters in her area are long and unforgiving, and she had relied on her heated mattress pad for over 5 years to help her sleep through the cold. It was her nighttime ritual. She'd turn it on an hour before bed and leave it running on low heat until morning. She loved how it made the sheets feel cozy and how quickly she could fall asleep. But over time, she started noticing that her sleep wasn't as restful. She began waking up with aching knees and dull pressure in her chest. Her hands felt stiffer in the morning, and sometimes her heart seemed to skip a beat or flutter without warning. She brushed it off at first, thinking it was just a part of getting older. But after her neighbor mentioned reading about EMF exposure and how it could affect seniors differently, Carlene decided to do a little experiment. She stopped using the electric pad and instead layered her bed with wool blankets, thick flannel sheets, and a feather comforter. On particularly cold nights, she warmed up a microwavable rice pad and placed it near her feet, then removed it before going to sleep. Within 2 weeks, Carlene noticed a change. She wasn't waking up stiff, her chest felt lighter, her heart rhythm calmed down. Most surprising of all, she was sleeping through the night without tossing or turning. When she mentioned it at her next doctor's visit, even her physician was impressed. The truth is, low-level EMF exposure over long periods, especially when it's directly under your body, can slowly interfere with your body's ability to rest, heal, and regulate inflammation. Research has found that EMFs can increase markers of cellular stress, which leads to more inflammation and less restorative sleep. And if you're already dealing with joint pain, heart issues, or fatigue, these little stressors can make a big difference. So, if you rely on a heated mattress pad, consider using it only to warm up the bed before you get in, then unplugging it when you go to sleep. Or better yet, switch to natural heating options that don't come with a radiation cost. Sometimes what helps us fall asleep isn't always helping us stay well. And when you're older, the right kind of warmth, the safe kind, can make all the difference. Now let's take a closer look at something you've probably had on your nightstand for decades: the digital alarm clock. That glowing red or green display, always ready to show the time at a glance, seems completely harmless. It doesn't make noise unless it's waking you up, and it barely takes up space. But here's what you might not know. Most digital clocks, especially the plug-in types that stay powered 24/7, emit a steady stream of electromagnetic fields, EMFs, from the moment you plug them in. These fields radiate a few feet in every direction, and if your clock is right next to your pillow, as it is for most people, that means your head is exposed all night long. The danger isn't dramatic. You won't feel a shock, there's no heat or hum, but the proximity and duration of exposure matter, especially for older adults. At night, your body is supposed to enter a state of deep repair. Your brain slows down, your cells focus on healing. But when you're lying just inches from a device that's constantly releasing low-level radiation, your body stays subtly alert. It's as if your brain is getting mixed signals, one telling it to rest and another telling it to stay on guard. Over time, this can lead to fragmented sleep, early morning headaches, forgetfulness, and even changes in heart rhythm. And the frustrating part is that you'd never suspect the little clock on your nightstand as the cause. Dorothy, a 76-year-old from rural Ohio, had used the same digital alarm clock for nearly 20 years. It sat faithfully by her bed, right next to her lamp, where she could glance at it during the night without lifting her head. But for years, she also struggled with restless sleep. She woke up feeling foggy, sometimes with a dull headache or a heavy feeling behind her eyes. She tried adjusting her diet, cutting back on caffeine, and even changing her mattress. Nothing seemed to work. Then one afternoon, her neighbor mentioned a health article she'd read about EMFs in the bedroom. Out of curiosity, not belief, Dorothy unplugged her clock and swapped it with a simple, battery-powered analog clock that didn't glow or buzz or stay connected to anything. To her surprise, the change was almost immediate. That very week, she slept longer and deeper. She didn't wake up groggy. Her mornings were clearer. Her thoughts came easier. She even remembered little details that had started slipping away, like what day her bridge group met or where she left her reading glasses. Dorothy hadn't realized how much her body was reacting to something so familiar, so normal, so overlooked. And she's not alone. Scientific studies have shown that long-term exposure to EMFs, especially during sleep, can interfere with melatonin production, which not only affects sleep cycles, but also impacts the immune system and inflammation control. Seniors, in particular, are more sensitive to melatonin disruption because the hormone naturally declines with age. So keeping a digital clock inches from your head may be doing more harm than you realize. If you're used to checking the time in the dark, there are plenty of safe alternatives, from analog clocks with soft glow-in-the-dark hands to battery-operated clocks you can place across the room. Not only do these reduce radiation exposure, but putting the clock farther away might even help you sleep through the night without constantly glancing at the time. Because in the end, it's not just about telling time. It's about giving your body the calm, clean, signal-free space it needs to truly rest. And sometimes, the first step to feeling better in the morning, starts by unplugging something that's been next to you for years. There's something comforting about walking into a bedroom that smells clean, soft, and inviting. For many older adults, especially those living alone or dealing with less ventilation in the home, plug-in air fresheners offer an easy way to create a pleasant atmosphere. They're small, low maintenance, and promise continuous scent without needing to spray or light anything. But behind that convenience is a hidden problem that can have a big impact on your breathing, sleep quality, and even energy levels. These devices don't just release fragrance, they also emit volatile organic compounds, VOCs, tiny airborne chemicals like benzene, formaldehyde, and phthalates that get released into your air every minute the device is plugged in. Even at low levels, those compounds can irritate the lungs, especially in seniors who already have weaker respiratory systems or slower recovery from inflammation. What's more, many plug-in air fresheners also produce electromagnetic radiation, EMFs, due to the way they heat and dispense scent. That means while you're sleeping just a few feet away, your body is inhaling chemical-laced air and absorbing low-level electrical signals that don't belong in a rest environment. Unlike dust or pet dander, these exposures are invisible. You can't smell the VOCs underneath the fragrance. You don't feel the EMFs as they radiate, but your lungs, your immune system, and your nervous system feel the burden, especially while your body is trying to relax and restore itself overnight. You might wake up with a dry throat, a stuffy nose, or even a slight cough, and not think twice about what caused it. But if those symptoms happen regularly, and there's a plug-in freshener nearby, that small device could be affecting you far more than you realize. Take Virginia, a 77-year-old widow from Florida, who used to keep a lavender-scented plug-in near her bed every night. She loved the way it made her room smell, calm, clean, and peaceful. But after a while, she started noticing something wasn't right. She'd wake up with a scratchy throat and a lingering cough that wouldn't go away, even when she used a humidifier or took allergy medication. At first, she blamed it on seasonal allergies or dry air. But during a week-long stay at her daughter's house, where there were no air fresheners plugged in anywhere, her symptoms cleared up. No more coughing, no dry throat. She slept deeper and woke up feeling clearer than she had in months. When she got back home, her daughter gently suggested trying life without the plug-ins for a while. Virginia was hesitant. She didn't want her home to smell musty or stale, but they came up with a new plan together. They placed small bowls of baking soda in key spots to absorb odors naturally and added a few cotton balls dabbed with pure essential oils like cedar and peppermint across the room, far away from the bed. The difference was almost immediate. Her breathing improved. The cough didn't return. She felt lighter, more rested, and more in control of her space. And maybe even more importantly, she felt proud, knowing she had made a choice to protect her health without giving up her comfort. Scientific studies now support what Virginia experienced. Compounds like formaldehyde and phthalates, commonly found in scented plug-ins, are known irritants that can trigger inflammation in the lungs, especially when used in small enclosed rooms like bedrooms. And since seniors naturally breathe more slowly and deeply during sleep, the exposure becomes even more intense. Combined with the subtle EMFs emitted by the electrical components of the device, the body ends up under double pressure while it's trying to rest. If you enjoy a nice-smelling room at night, you don't have to give that up. Just consider safer alternatives. Natural odor absorbers like baking soda, dried herbs in breathable fabric pouches, or essential oils kept at a safe distance. Even simple ventilation, like opening a window during the day, can help keep your bedroom fresh without synthetic chemicals. Your lungs have worked hard your whole life. They deserve clean, safe air at night, especially during those hours when your body is trying its best to heal. So before bed tonight, look around your room. Is there something plugged in that smells sweet but might be silently making things harder for your body? If so, removing it could be one of the easiest, most impactful changes you'll ever make to improve how you feel every morning. Your bedroom should be the safest place in your home, a place where your body isn't just lying down, but truly resting, recovering, and restoring itself. And for most seniors, that space becomes more than just a room with a bed. It's your retreat, your quiet zone. It's where you lay your head at night and trust that your body will do the work it's meant to do while you sleep. But when your bedroom is filled with small devices that give off low-level radiation, your phone, digital clock, smart lights, plug-in air fresheners, and heated mattress pads, it becomes harder for your body to do its job. These things don't beep, they don't flash, they don't wake you up with noise, but they surround you with invisible signals, creating background stress your body can feel, even if your mind doesn't notice. And over time, that constant exposure can start showing up in ways you might have mistaken for normal aging. Fatigue that won't go away, lighter sleep, morning stiffness, headaches, or memory lapses. The truth is, those aren't always just signs of getting older. Sometimes, they're quiet messages from your body asking for a calmer environment. The good news? You don't need to tear down your bedroom or live off the grid. You don't have to get rid of every device or stop using modern comforts. You just need to be a little more aware of where things are placed and what stays powered on while you sleep. Small changes go a long way. Moving your phone across the room, unplugging your Wi-Fi router at night, swapping your electric blanket for flannel sheets, replacing your plug-in air freshener with a cotton ball and a few drops of lavender oil. These aren't big changes, but for your body, they could mean the difference between shallow, restless sleep and deep, healing rest. Your body still knows how to heal, how to restore, and how to protect you. It's doing its best, every night. You just have to give it the right space to do that work. So tonight, take a moment to really look around your bedroom. Ask yourself, is this space helping my body relax or silently working against it? Because you've worked hard to get to this stage of life. You deserve rest that actually restores you. You deserve mornings that feel clear, steady, and pain-free. And that starts not with a pill or a supplement or another gadget, but with simply reclaiming your sleep space. Now that you've heard about all 5 of these common bedroom items, I want to hear from you. Which one surprised you the most? Was it the digital clock, the heated pad, the phone you charge every night, or maybe the plug-in freshener? Leave a comment down below and tell me, what's one small change you're willing to make in your bedroom tonight? Even if it's something as simple as unplugging one device or moving your phone a few feet farther from your head, share it. You never know, your comment might encourage someone else to do the same. And if you've already made changes and noticed a difference, I'd love to hear that too. This channel is a growing space for older adults and families to support one another, and your story could truly help someone feel less alone. If this video gave you something to think about or made you feel a little more hopeful, just type the word rest in the comments. It lets me know this message reached you, and it helps others see they're part of something bigger. And if you haven't already, take a second to click the thumbs up. It helps this video reach more people who need it. Tap subscribe, and don't forget the little bell icon so you never miss another tip built with your well-being in mind. If you have a friend, parent, or neighbor over 60 who could use better sleep or just a little extra care, share this video with them. You might be giving them exactly what their body has been quietly asking for. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I don't take it lightly. Until next time, may your nights be quiet, your body at ease, and your mornings full of clarity and peace. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.